Hey everybody, it's Kenny K. First of all, great, great new year. Hope you have great movie fun for 2026 and just all in out a good year from Kenny K's channel. Now, I want to start this year off with a my favorite uh, campus sorority slashers, mostly from the 80's, a few from the 70's. As you may well know, I'm a big slasher fan. My subgenre is slasher. I like slashers, and for some reason, I like the campus slashers. You know, they're always like in these campuses and at night, and like let's say it's final examinations and there's not a lot of people. It's creepy, like Halloween 2 in that hospital with a skeleton crew of what, 8 people. That was creepy, that setting. So I like in the sororities always those old buildings. They're like spook houses, you know. So I like them. So the first one is gonna be from 1974, Black Christmas from Bob Clark, with Olivia Hussey and Margot Kidder. Olivia Hussey, you know, from It, 1990's It, as the wife of, I think his name is Bill Denborough. He's the brother of Georgie, who gets killed in the beginning by Pennywise, and she's also in the fourth sequel of Psycho 4. Yeah, she plays Mrs. Bates. Yeah. By the way, if you ever have the chance to see the Bates Motel, give it a watch. I mean, Vera Farmiga, I love her. She's great as Norma Bates, and how Norman became the person he was. It wasn't Norma's fault in that one. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool way of telling the story. Um, Black Christmas is just, you know, the fact that you see this house with all the Christmas lights is dark, and you hear the silent night, that song, and then you see this guy crawling up these sort of where you grow these plants on, you know, where it's like a ladder, and he goes all the way to the attic, and then these girls get these obscene phone calls, and the first one is like extremely obscene, like, I'm gonna put your my dick in your fucking pussy. I wanna, you wanna lick your pussy, your little piggy clit, you piggy clit. And then Margot Kidder, being the badass of the group, says, "Oh, go fuck yourself." And then he says, in this very calm way, "I'm gonna kill you." And it was creepy. They had a creepy. There are moments when it's almost funny when she's doing Billy, Billy. No, Mama, no, Billy, Billy, you're stupid. Fuck, Billy, Billy. No, Mama, no, no, Dick. What you do with Agnes Billy? So we know the killer's name is Billy. We never get to see the killer, but it's done in this way. We do see him, but in a way that we only see the patch, this patch, of course, without the glasses here, on my glasses, this patch of his eyes, and the outlining of the killer. It's pretty cool. We see his eye through a crack, but we never see Billy complete. And also there is by the way, a fan-made movie. It's Me, Billy, Part 1 and Part 2. And I gotta say, cinematography-wise, acting-wise, it's super great. They had Olivia Hussey, but it's a shame she died. They had her for Part 2, but 3 weeks later she died on a very um, aggressive form of cancer. So rest in peace, Olivia Hussey. But she was wanting to reprise her role as Jess, and you also get there's also an explanation because at some point these girls get a constant police um, protection outside, but this guy's neck is sliced. But it wasn't Billy who did that. But that's for if you want to see the fan movies, you're gonna get more explanation about that. Yeah, and it's like I said, atmosphere in that movie is just top notch. The moment that Margot Kidder gets killed, at the same time Olivia Hussey is standing in front of these carolers who are singing Silent Night, and in this church Catholic way, and she at the same time is being stabbed multiple times, and they don't hear it because of the kids singing, and it's done in such a creepy way that the sound makes it this the more creepy. The kill, it's really creepy, and if you're really looking for a Christmas related horror movie, slasher movie, that's the one. You would think um, Silent Night, Deadly Night, but that's more the through the book slasher movie. This has more story to it. Heck, it even has there are issues with abortion in this one, so there's more meat to the bone, and I like that. The acting was good. You have Art Winkle, I believe his name is. He's the boyfriend from the first victim. I mean, the first victim, when she sees somebody behind, like these paper, these plastic bags where you put clothes in, she sees something and she thinks, and he's just standing behind her. You don't really see him, and then he just pops out and smothers her with the plastic. I mean, that's just great. That's just great. Creepy movie until the police says he is there in the house. Just get out, get out. And she's stubborn too because she doesn't want to leave her friends behind. Also, although she's crying like a banshee, she still wants to check it out. So I mean, this puts the barometer of tension at its highest. Great movie, but great movie. The second one. A lot of people do not like this one. It has a cult following, and I am one of them. Final Exam from 1980. Danny Houston made this one. 1980 or 81, I'm not really sure. I think 80, but it's free on YouTube. What I liked is the characters. Every character is different. One is the super slut who thinks she can live her way by, if there's a man in charge, I'm never gonna do anything in life because she just flirts her way through life. Then you have the nerd Radish, but he's like the older day Randy from Scream. He is in the room and he knew he's Randy from Scream. He knew everything. That's how you survive. That's how that's how you never should say I'll be back or have sex or something like that, because you're not coming back, and if you have sex, you're not a virgin anymore, and you're gonna die. And Radish is the same kind of dude, only he's more infatuated with real life serial killers, which kind of makes him more of a psycho. Because he has, if you there is a scene when somebody enters this room, he has a copy of Helter Skelter on his desk, and adoring these serial killers and saying, oh, that's my like Charles Whitman, I think that's the sniper that kill a lot of people from a tower. That's my favorite. He snuffed like 9 people. But still, he's sort of funny. He's funny. He's Yeah, and he has a thing for Courtney. Now, Courtney is our final girl. She's very insecure. She doesn't know if she's gonna pass her exams. I mean, she hopes she's pretty enough because she's sleeping together with, uh, yeah, I don't know, the girl, the blonde who can flirt her way through life. And then you have this other girl, this sort of, I would say, um, I mean, this love-stricken girl, but in a way that she like a teenager, love-stricken. I got my first kiss, oh, like that. But the thing is, the movie takes a long time, so you get your first 2 kills. One, which you see, killer stabs with a kitchen knife, and one that you don't see, and it's fade to black. But I shit you not, the woman who's doing like, I mean, is dubs. You can see that's not her real screams. I believe in an article it said that woman couldn't scream, and Courtney, she could scream. So they edited for her. She's like, but then you have a long time, nothing. You're introduced to um, what was the college name? Langier College or something like that. It's a real college apparently in South or North Carolina. And apparently the film crew could use the campus, but an old part of the campus that they don't use anymore, and they fluffed it up and they made real dormitories again and classes, and I like that. I like that they kept it original. But you get to know these characters. That's what the director wanted. He also said, "I'm ripping off Halloween here. I'm not making it a secret because the killer, although we can see his face, he doesn't talk. He does use a butcher, the signature weapon of Michael Myers, a butcher's knife. He they he does the same shit as Michael Myers, like sitting there watching through a tree or standing on the fire stairs, and then somebody looks again and he's gone. You know that stalking and skulking around, and eventually he snaps when it's nighttime and he starts killing. He starts his killing spree. Um, but they wanted to establish these characters, so if one would die, you will feel sorry. You had a few douchebags, like a guy named Wildman, and this sorority leader of the sorority, Mark, I guess his name is. These guys are assholes. Let them be killed. Um, you have to coach this redneck coach. It's fun. This sheriff, this asshole sheriff, uh, because he's angry. They call him like Radish called the police because what happens, and that's something you'll never see in the light of day in any movie now, is the wild man and other people of his sorority, they fake a mass school shooting with M16s, and Mark, meanwhile, they're doing this to do a cover up so he can get a good grade, and he cheats, and they're taking the bodies who they shot with blood squibs, and they take him in the car. But then, of course, somebody sees the sign of their sorority house, so they know it's fake. And then the police comes, and Radish says, apparently were victims of a harmless prank. I don't know. I mean, this can't happen. And the sheriff, oh, this can't happen. But not here, not in my county, and especially not during my supper time. um, Now the kill, the gore isn't that great, but he does kill mean spirited, like really deep. There's apparently also a scene in there that they cut out that Courtney, um, the final girl, that she stabbed him in the shoulders, but they cut that scene out. But that you can still see the hilt of the knife sticking in his shoulders. One scene I really didn't see it yet, so I'll actually want to see and find it on YouTube somewhere. Maybe I can find it and put it on here. The next movie is gonna be House and Sorority Row. Yeah, I think 84, 83, 84. I like this one. I really like this one. You know, Vicky being the main bitch, and she does play a good bitch. And Katie's the girl with morals. You know, she's the one who wants to call the paramedics, who wants to call the police. And they kill house mother Mrs. Slater, but she has this cane. I mean, for God's sakes, it's a fucking murder weapon. She has a cane that basically at the end of the cane is a spear tip, as sharp as a spear tip, and then where she's holding the cane, it's I think it's an eagle, where you have this claw, and it's like, you know, a hammer, but the back of the hammer with the claw part. I mean, it's a deadly weapon where you can, you know, claw somebody with that thing. I mean, and of course, the killer in that movie uses that as the weapon in multiple ways. There are a few good kills in there. They're all practical. Sometimes they're kind of subdued with the gore, but you have one, mainly the aftermath scenes. Like one gets her head chopped off because she's a retard. Why? Because she is in the kitchen and there's still a party going on. And instead of running towards the party because the killer is coming through the glass of the kitchen, run the fuck to that fucking party where you have 20, 30 people. No, she runs upstairs and she goes to the toilet and she hides on a toilet bowl. She can't get the hell out of there, and even better, she doesn't even lock the door. So the killer knows she's there. He's opening all the doors, and then she's standing ready with that knife, and she's like, ah! And then you see her against the wall, and the killer's like, the knife. He took the knife, and she, and apparently he went so deep that it chopped off her head, and then later on, Katie finds her head in the toilet bowl, and I think it's her real head sticking out the toilet bowl. And also the thing that, why in God's name, if you ask the gun Vicky had, and that was the prank, they wanted her to believe it's a real gun, so they put one real bullet in there, destroy the lantern, and then you would think the rest are blanks, okay? But apparently the boyfriend, I guess, or Vicky maybe, I don't know. Maybe she wanted Slater dead. She fires 4 more blanks, and they're laughing. And then she gets hit on the head. She shoots, and it's again it's a bullet. It's not a blank. It's a hot bullet. So, and after that, I believe Courtney uses it again against the killer, but it's all blanks. So for some reason, 1 real shot, 4 blanks, and then somewhere in the middle, 1 real bullet. Okay. But the killer is creepy looking. There's the end. You have this. He has this outfit, a court jester's outfit. If he worn that throughout the movie, that would have been more creepier. But when you see his real face, he's kind of deformed. It's pretty creepy, pretty disgusting. It's cool. It's a cool, good movie, good acting, especially from Vicky. She plays a good bitch, and Katie plays a good, good girl. Uh, yeah, I really liked it. And Mrs. Slater plays this mean old Gringy, the wife of the Grinch, and the killer is fairly creepy, and the kills are fairly bloody. Not to say whoa, but they're fairly bloody. Another good one is The Initiation with Daphne Zuniga, Vera Miles, and I have to say I've just found somebody sent me a copy of this one. He bought I think the Arrow release. I'm not sure, and it was the uncut, uncensored version. It's 2 minutes longer, but it's 2 minutes more of gore, and the camera's focusing longer on the explicit violence. For an example is when somebody gets stabbed with the rake in the neck. You see the guy bleeding out of his mouth, out of his neck, spraying the blood, and he's like that. Or another kill that was pretty violent, the one when she's downstairs in the security box, and she's trying to with the in the parlor phone, and she's trying to help, and she's getting stabbed multiple times. The blood is pouring out of her mouth, and I didn't think it was so violent in the theatrical version. Then she gets dragged away. I mean, really, if you can get your hands on those 2 minutes extra, it does a lot for the movie, especially gore-wise and creepiness all over. Because the guard scene in the shopping mall is also extended. He sees in the sunglasses, and he sees this head looking at him, and then gone. And you can see it's kind of a woman's head, so they almost spoiled it. Great movie, great acting. I liked that they were explaining the entire dream, the REM sleep, and with Peter David, her TA, and he was he was very passionate about it, and I liked it. I really liked it. And then there's only one scene that I thought, oh, this is so out of place, when Marcia, the virgin, although she's not a virgin anymore, but she was de-virginized in a horrible way, raped, and nobody knows this, not even her own mom. And then because she's drunk, and this other girl, I think her name's Allison, she always makes fun of her. And then you think you're so smart, Allison. Well, I'm not a virgin anymore. And then she's saying this entire ordeal, and it's so out of place. And after that, what was his name, Charlie or something? She went to him to the dance. He was a giant dick with balls. Really, just a giant dick with balls and this little pouch of bush. And he's like a comedian. He's a comedic relief, and he goes and sit with her. He kisses her, and they kiss each other, and they have fucking sex. Now, if you were talking about a situation in your life that you were fucking raped, I'm thinking you wouldn't be in the mood of fucking somebody. But okay. In any case, it's a great movie. It goes from campus college to the shopping mall setting, and it's not just a shopping mall. It's like this super mall with like 30 storages. It's this open area with an open roof, but with 30 stores. It's big, and it's creepy. and they really make use of it. Another one that's that I also liked is I had that movie. I just had that movie in my hands. Fuck. Yeah, I think the Slumber Party Massacre is actually also a little bit of a high school slasher. I mean, okay, yeah, it plays in a house where they're holding this sleeping over party, but it has to do with the high school kids, and a teacher even comes at some point, their PT teacher, and I gotta say, it's a great movie. It's a horror comedy actually, and it's a great movie. I liked it. I liked it. Oh yeah, Killer Party, also a great movie. It's also a horror comedy, more of a horror than comedy. It's a slasher slash demon movie, but it's really good. And these really two twists that happen in the beginning, you think, okay, oh, they're watching a movie, okay. Then again, oh shit, it's an MTV song, White Sisters or something. April, you're no fool. I mean, it's just great. And then it goes to the movie. And then you get a song when the three girlfriends go to the campus and you hear this song. These are the best times of our lives. These are the best times. It's great. It's great. It's a great movie. Sadly enough, the MPAA went through this thing like a hatchet with a hatchet because it had so many potential for gore scenes. Fuck. Because the killer at the end, it's a masquerade party, and the killer dresses him or herself as a, one of those old school divers that had the oxygen tube in their head and it's all of metal, but he has this machete, he has a hammer, he has a knife, a trident. I mean, but you just don't. You do see the aftermaths, but you don't see like a guy. You see a guy opening a fridge, and then you see the knife going like this, and then it cuts to black. But then you see when they open the fridge, this guy chopped in pieces, and then you see these two eyes hollowed out, and then multiple bodies here and there. So there's the mass killing. Basically 50% of the party, 50% was already gone, but the rest 50% was all killed by this killer. And then a demon gets involved. So a little bit of Exorcist, yeah. So it's a cool movie. You get something from everything. And like I said, it does take a while. There are 2 kills in there in the middle, but like I said, I believe a paddling to death with the paddles these pledges have, but you don't see it, and you only hear it. She's crying. A house mother that gets paddled to death, and then a teacher named Joseph Zito. Also, no, he gets electrocuted. You see that, yeah. So, but yeah, Killer Party is a fun movie. It's from '86, I believe. And that being said, I think that's, yeah, some mentions are Graduation Day. Another one, sorry, the last one, Pieces. Great one. Gyro, yeah, it's a gyro slasher, but it has a Christopher George and Linda Day George, and you got that, which has become a meme. Linda Day George, her acting, bastards, bastards, bastards.
Fumbling with that music, the lousy bastard was in there killing her.
The killer.
Bastard!
Small.
Bastard!
chainsaw. There's the first
Bastard!
stupid. So the student is lying in the sun studying, and he's pretending to be the gardener, and she says, "Are you quite done because of the noise?" Yeah, yeah, just a minute. And then zzz, zzz, and then it comes to her. Hey, her head off. And sometimes he takes the torso, then he takes this part. This part is obviously putting a body together, reconstructing a body of different pieces, hence the name Pieces. Great movie, a fun, gory slasher movie with a mystery and a whodunit movie. Yeah, they hire this. They use this student named Kendall, who fucks every woman. And if you see the guy, you would think, what a dweeb. And every woman wants to fuck him. Even he just has to do this. Fuck him. You even see some dick action when he's fucking a girl, and he having a semi when he comes out of that bed. And in House on Sorority Road, there is this scene that's also something that I didn't like. All these guys were like 40 years old on the party. They really, really amped it up on the age. And there's this one guy, they say, look at that, he looks cute. And there's this one guy, he's like, the scene in there that you can see that, man. And that scene with Kendall's dick action, you can see it. So that being said, I wanted to give some honorable mentions. Graduation Day, uh, the what's the movie called, the Sorority Massacre. Got prom night, yeah. And that's about it. There are probably here and there a few honorable mentions, but they're not as good as. Now, of course, what I like, you may not like, right? You got Slaughter High, that's also an honorable mention. So these are also still good enough to give it a watch. But the ones that I'm gonna put the posters on, these are the ones that I really recommend. If you didn't see, you probably seen a bunch of them, but if one of you didn't see one of, you missed one of them, take a look, okay? That being said, enjoy your day. See you next time. Bye bye.